Welcome to another episode of Let's Build a Honda. So basically these are the flow rad guards. They're in place and finished now, like the bolts are Loctite in, and I made this clamp up tonight, this spacer up tonight. It steps inside the stock mount to add rigidity to it, simply because it's so far away from where it should be. That's not Flow's fault. I ordered these for this bike, but they're actually for a 450R, which runs narrower rads. Luckily, they're the same height vertically, but these are narrower, so that's why I had to make up that spacer. If you want a set of flow guards for your 450L, I do have these measurements. If you have the ability to make them yourself, just give me a holler. I can send you the measurements. It'll save you a bit of time. If you want me to spin up a set and send them to you, I haven't figured out a price, but I can't see it being more than 30 or 40 bucks for the spacers and stuff like that. We are in Canada, so there will be some shipping involved if you're in the United States, but these I think are far superior to anybody else's rad guards and the shroud and the guard combination. I've shown this a couple times. Unfortunately, this is about the third take of this video, so I wanted to explain why I've ordered the barrier hose and didn't run with this one. This is the hose it's actually a better hose than was provided by MST, but it's still not a fuel injection rated hose. You might be able to see it starting to drip there, and the fitting is fine. It's actually leaking from this area here. You can see it wet around the clamp and all that, and unfortunately it is just the fact that you're using a low pressure hose in a high pressure situation. So if anybody ever sells you a tank kit that they say, you know, you got to stretch the hose or do anything like that, and it doesn't come with fuel injected rated hose, make sure you get that, because it's not worth the hassle you're gonna have of not running the proper hose. Well, I got the power on here. These are the signal lights I got for the bike. They're something that one of our Canadian suppliers sells. They're a house brand from that supplier. They're called Toxic. They're really hard to find if you don't know that supplier. So the reason I chose them is, one, the rubber mounting, two is the 10mm mounting bolt. It's really nice, but this is the main reason. I love the way it scrolls. Just goofy little thing, but I like it. So they're really nice, very flexible, cheap. Well, not cheap, inexpensive. They're $45 Canadian for a set, so about 30 bucks US, something like that. Let me know if you'd like a set. Robert at MotoMotion.ca, or message me here, message me on Facebook, whatever you like, and we'll get you set up with a set if you'd like some. They're 10mm, so they should go into Japanese stuff fairly easily. European, I believe they use 8mm stocks. So if you're going to run it on a European bike, you got to enlarge the hole 2mm. That's about it for that. This fuel tank, the fuel tanks, for some reason they weren't, well, not for some reason, they weren't equalizing. So I kind of had a sneaking suspicion, if you look at my earlier videos, that black stuff that they put on the rubber gasket, I didn't think it was fuel safe. So I was correct. Sorry about the messy toolbox, but this is what all came out of the fuel tank after after 3 cleanings now. Like, this stuff keeps disintegrating and falling apart. I think I've got it all now. I'll probably do a couple test rides on the bike and then check it again. So if you happen to get one of these and it comes with this black crap on the fuel tank, you might want to get rid of it all and use a fuel safe silicone or fuel safe sealant. I'm not going to say silicone, but that this is plugged up. I've had to replace the fuel filter and stuff because this crap plugged everything up, and fuel wouldn't transfer and everything. And I don't know where they got the idea that was good to use, but regardless, it's slowly coming out of the system. I'll check it a few more times before I ride the bike in anger. I don't think there's anything else tonight. The headlight and everything, I think I've showed the mounting. This is the wiring that I finished up. This is one of my connectors. It's not a Honda connector. This is for the, it'll actually be tied back in there. That is for the, that's for the two switches that I put in the center, the Go Baby Go and Where To. This is actually a 4 amp power circuit that's going to power the tower. This is an extra switched ignition source. Don't have any use for it, but if you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's nice to have an extra 12 volt if you've got something that goes bad. Like let's say this, for some reason the switch goes bad. The ground is going to be the ground. It's hooked directly to ground. I just need an extra power wire, so that will make everything come on and off with the ignition switch. If you haven't seen the earlier videos, I made this short stock here, spun that up in the lathe, used an angle aluminum and machined it down to thread into the riser. I do have an idea that if you need one of these stocks, I can make one up for you. As you see, I've got the button on the end, so there's no way it's like, even if it loosens up, which they never do, but if it does, there's no way it's going to slide off. I've been thinking about making one of these that actually bolts onto here, so it'll this 90-degree bracket will actually be out here. This will come up. That's if you have to have your road legal switches on the bike. It would be another alternative to running it stacked up on your roadbook switches. It cleans it up down here. Everything is, I don't know if it would work with a Safari style tank, like a big tall quick fill tank like a Baja tank. But I think it works really well with these low tanks, and I think it'll work pretty well if we raise it up on any bike. So if you want something like that, they will be available pretty soon. I've just got to do some more prototyping and make a set, and I'll probably show it in a future video. If you do have interest in it, send me a message, comment on the video, comments below, and we'll go from there. And I can make them up pretty quick. If you've got risers like this, I have these drawings to make these, so I can either send you the drawings or make you the parts, and we'll go from there. The plan is I'm going to switch. Right now these are 4 individual bolts, 2 on each side. I'm going to build spacers in between here. That way I can run one long bolt and clamp the whole thing together. I've already removed a couple bolts. This hole here was actually for another support. There was actually 2 more cross supports up here, and this is actually the mount for the headlight, which is also a cross support. So originally there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cross supports. The reason they run that is because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different layers of this tower. So I think what I'm going to try to do eventually is actually redesign this whole thing, make this all into one plate, and then have the roadbook mount on top of that. But for now, doing this, and then I'm going to making the spacers in here, and then I'll be able to get rid of this front area here and open this up some more, get rid of a little bit less weight. As you can probably see from the earlier videos, if you compare the look of this to now, I've already lightened it up a little bit. We're getting there. This is also the finished block for the tower. Right now this one is empty, but these 2 are button head. I will be putting button heads in here again, but I'm probably actually going to run these 2 in nylon. The reason is that eventually I'm going to. Right now I'm going to leave them as steel, or either stainless or steel, simply because I want to make sure that they're going to stay in place. FIM has mandated that that the towers basically break away, so if you hit your chest on it, there'll be some give. And you know, Rally Moto Shop has designed their Sonora tower for that. As far as I know, that's the only tower so far in the world that's designed for that. Everybody else, we're going to have to do something like this. So yes, I guess I should mention the MST tower is back on the bike instead of the Rally Moto Shop Sonora. Thank you, Matt, for letting me try it out and fit it up. I don't like giving up on anything, and to me, I think this the concept of this tower is good. The execution was not. So I want to be able to make my own tower eventually, and your tower is good enough that I wouldn't have to rebuild it. So this gives me another project, you know, as if I don't have enough going on. But that's about it for tonight. There will be a short unboxing of some of the gear that I've gotten. I don't really open anything, I just unbox it and see it, and it was a very cool care package from Rally Moto Shop. So stick around for that, and we shall see you next time. Okay, got a pretty cool package here from Rally Moto Shop. Just gonna do the unboxing here, and we'll see what we got. So we gotta have the chocolate bar. Thanks, guys. This is a mounting bracket, a couple short cables, mounting kit. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is the RNS 6-position multi-switch. One RNS, the GFX version 2 standard. So this is the one that takes the wheel speed sensor. And this guy is the Pro. So this is GPS enabled. So it doesn't need an antenna or anything like that. Not sure what that is. That is that's the power box. So this is the power box to put everything together. So instead of having a big ugly fuse box on the side of your tower or anything like that, we're gonna have just one fuse controlling the whole thing. And then now, the rally book. This is awesome. The guys did try to talk me into the cheaper one. I guess I should listen once in a while, but nah, I figured I'm trying to do this once. This will be transferred from bike to bike to bike, so I'm trying to get the best I can. We'll go through, so that's the unboxing of the RMS box, and we'll go through and do each one individually, and we'll have those up in the next day or so. Ciao.